All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to check out this Upchurch video. The title of it is Yada Yada Yada. They're trying to take me out. So let's check this out. Now, we've been through this before with Upchurch, right? Who knows what kind of information he has? We don't know. We don't know what's inside of his head. But he ain't acting right. So let's take a look at this. I posted his channel in my chat. Who's his handlers? I think it was, it used to be his mother or something, but she ended up buying a bunch of houses and stealing from him. So, all right, hold on a minute. All right, let's check this out.
The most difficult to run propaganda on, or hell, even geologically infiltrate, has been Southern people, right? Even in other countries, like in Germany, what they always say, they said they're trying to infiltrate our countrymen, right? So if you look at the way everything is right now in America, look at the Civil War, for example. Where's the first place the mother drove boats to via the river? Nashville, Tennessee, the heartland. Well,
I don't know if that's exactly true. I'm not really sure if that's true. But he's talking Civil War again, which, he's using as an example. Uh, no biggie. But I'm not sure if Nashville was the place the Pilgrims landed. Maybe back then the earth landscape was different and it was possible to get to Nashville by boat. I'm not sure. Rivers, whatever, I'm not sure. All right, let's continue.
if you want to infiltrate the heart of the country these days, you have to have people that integrate within those kind of people to infiltrate it. You have to sneak in. You have to dress like whoever you're trying to infiltrate. You have to act like them. You have to mimic what they're doing. You have to mimic everything about them. Country folks are the hardest kind of people to.
Now, see, I can acknowledge that because I've had people impersonate me. So that one part, yeah, I can see how uh, these people impersonate people. You know, it's happened to me. So yeah, sure. Mistaken identity, whatever. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I can't say that's completely crazy.
Mimic, because nobody actually wants to do what country folks have to do to live and survive. You don't even have to go that far with it. Acting like a country person just for country music is a hard thing to do. It's actually hard for these mothers to act country. They all think they're doing a good job, but they're not. If you ask me, country folks are more like a tribe than they are a stereotype. I think people who are not country have tried to make it a stereotype for their political or beneficial gain. And you can see it. It's right out in front of our faces. A musical example is Maren Morris or Luke Combs. Maren Morris says she's country, and you can check her country cred because there's a picture of her holding a guitar when she's 10 years old. That doesn't count. I'm sorry. Luke Combs, his example is, yeah, he'll use our flags and symbols to get rich, but he'll denounce it as soon as somebody says something about it because he's a pussy.
Well, all right, there we go. These people are pissing them off because they're not real country. They're fake country, and they just seen an opportunity to make money, and now everybody's country. I don't want to be country. Uh, I mean, I'll act like I'm country, but that's all I can do. I can't become Southern. I wasn't raised down south. I vacationed there many times, but uh, I can't walk the talk down south because I wasn't raised there. Maybe I was. Maybe I was kidnapped as a kid. And I'm actually Ulysses Grant's great grandchild. I don't know. But let's continue to listen to this.
Politically, you can see it when you see stuff like, for example, when Hillary Clinton changes her accent when she's speaking to people in the South. And she's like, "Hi, y'all. What y'all doing?" So with that being said, I ask myself, well, how long has this, like, I guess, mental war? Well, I guess it's half physical war and half mental war been going on against country folks. Well, at least since the Civil War. Then you got to ask yourself, is it still going on? Well, yeah. That's why propaganda, every time, I mean, look at the past 10 years, taking down Confederate monuments to try to piss off country folks. These actors showing up places and burning flags. It's not even the original flag, by the way. But what does that do? That gets country folks to really start following a false history about themselves. Because you got to think, why do they do that? Because country folks don't have time to be on the internet all the time. Country folks don't know what's going on in pop culture because, well, quite frankly, they don't care what's going on. They care about what's going on in their yard, and that's it. So, but you got to look at both sides. Now, what's the good part?
All right, so what am I hearing in this? Well, I'm hearing exactly what we heard back in the slave days, right? Which now we're hearing now that the white man is stealing from the black man. And what Upchurch is saying, the country folks now uh, have always been like a slave to people that make fun of or whatever. Uh, they make fun of people up north here too, right? They make fun of people everywhere. I'm sorry, some of these people took it to heart, but it's just joking around. Like I said, I love the South, but I can't walk the talk because I don't. I wasn't raised down there, so I find it kind of weird how these people are taking it to heart, like they're a country, like they're a. And are they really being picked on? Not really. I mean, but like just like every other country city boy, whatever it is, small town man or whatever. Uh, do I take it to heart? Do I? No, no. I walk away from it. We're making movies here. We're not doing it in real life. We're not. We're not saying we are. So why is he acting this way? I don't know. Something must be wrong. Find out who's his handlers now.
part of being secluded and not knowing pop culture and all that? Well, you're preserving your gut instinct. You are more likely to spot somebody who's full of shit than not. You're more likely to guide somebody in the right direction when someone's trying to trick you on something. Our way of life is not poisoned yet to a certain degree. Which brings me to another point. What do they say about folks from the Bible Belt? They say, oh, these are Bible thumping, church going, whatever. Not really. Hell, a lot of country folks don't even go to church. A lot of country folks will tell you, I don't have to read the Bible and I don't have to go to church to see God. Because they're outside with them every day.
Well, I agree with that. No, we don't want to push people away from the church. If people feel better going to the God's house or the Lord's house and hearing the word of the Lord, all power to him, all glory goes to God, amen. But people, some of us did go to church. It's not that we don't like church. It's not that we don't even agree. We just walked away from it because we believe in God, right? As long as you keep believing in the Lord and praying to the Lord, asking for forgiveness and everything, it's like going to the church. And people did wander back in the olden days and preach the word, or didn't go to church, but they did believe in God, right? They listen to their Bibles or read their Bibles and watch church on TV in their own front rooms. I find myself watching church stuff, in the comfort of my own house, not just Sunday, all throughout the week. All right, let's continue.
Hey, another weird fact is if you look up people who study like language and accent origin and all that, you'll find out that the Southern accent is, I'm pretty sure, the oldest accent that exists to this day. And it comes from a blending of 3 different languages and accents that came over here and lived with each other. But look what they do in modern times. Oh, look, these Southerners don't know how to talk. They talk like idiots and yada yada yada. Actually, we talk in a conjunctive language that, once again, is the oldest. So, actually, no, we don't talk like idiots. We talk like old world life. Now, not just talking.
Well, see, he's right about that, right? It's English. It just got a slang on it, right? Probably, I'm wondering, which we are researching to see if it's because back in the olden days, they had what? In masses, slaves, right? And how did they talk? Probably with that slang, right? And then you had, because the people that came over here weren't even from the South, they were from another country, and they happened to live in the South. It's not like they were born here, right? They were born Southern. Well, they weren't. They were slave owners, and they came with masses of slaves, and They probably were around listening to the slaves talk. They caught that southern slang. You all, right? Yeah. Or vice versa, right? Whatever. Somewhere that talk came in. Someone created that accent. It wasn't hair. Do you understand? We weren't here. The people that discovered America, that we came, the whites, right, were from another country. They didn't have a southern draw to it. I don't know if that makes sense to any of you. Do you understand that? It was people that lived in a certain area that created their own accent. Yeah, I know it's crazy. I know it's pretty crazy, but that's what it was. Let's continue. This is the rapper Ryan Upchurch. He thinks everybody's trying to, excuse me, get rid of him or something. Uh, and I don't blame him. The whole world's gone nuts.
When a country person is talking to you about something they care about, you can tell they're telling the truth. You can feel they're telling the truth about how they talk. It don't sound like it's read off of a script or a teleprompter, and you can feel the emotion in what they're saying. Well, that's funny because they don't want any real country people in country music. Why? Because they're going to sing and tell you about something that matters that could change your mind on things in the world. And they don't want them doing that. They want the country people to hear someone who is keeping your brain just in neutral. Well, what do you know? Country people are not, hold on. Country people are not neutral people. We know what side we're on.
All right, I see nothing wrong here, but him just ranting. Uh, I know he's trying to say country people, and we're all Americans. We are all Americans. We're dividing our own country with this stuff. I mean, like I said, I've been through it with the rap wars and all that, right? They're dividing our country. They're people. They just happen to live down south. Uh, I don't call them country people, or I live in the country right now. Uh, so does that make me a country boy? I don't know. I don't shovel crap. I don't have horses. I don't have pigs. I can act like a country guy if I wanted to. Probably. I mean, probably give me a cowboy hat and some boots. Um, yeah. So there you go, folks. You know, a lot of people worried what's going on. He just did another video too that said something about they were trying to take him out just to get rid of him. Right? I don't know. I don't know. But there you go. Do what you know, and that's singing. Right? Making music. That's what you know. That's what you get paid to do. Continue to do that. And everyone has their right to make an opinion. Right? Like elbows and buttholes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see anything too nuts about it. Some things kind of weird, acting weird, or maybe lost or something like that, or maybe just around the wrong people. Not sure. Stay at home, kid, if they're trying to get ready or whatever, or if it's too crazy. Uh, and chill. Enjoy life. Uh, Good God Almighty, if we would have listened to all these people, we probably would have been at war with another country, something we can't afford and don't want. or a civil war, which we don't want that either. Peace. It's time for peace. Let's get back to the movies. Let's get back to the madness and me taking over half of the southern states and impregnating every single woman by myself. Now, you folks have a good day. God bless. All glory goes to God. And talk to you later.